Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Back today with a makeup review, and I'm going to be reviewing these new Colourpop Supernova shadows, and I've worn these 3 times already. Like, this is my 3rd time wearing it, and each time I tried a different color, and each of them I love so much. The orange backdrop is back in full effect. I don't know, I just like switching them up, but yeah, so we're just gonna hop right into this video. But before we hop into this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Without further ado, let's head right into that video. Okay, so Colourpop just released these Supernova shadows, and they're like a liquid eyeshadow. I have one of them on my eyes already today. I think it's in Hard to Impress. These are so beautiful. Like, I feel like everybody needs to get these. Even if you don't get like all of them, just get like 3 or 2. They're just so good. This is what they look like. They come in a nice packaging. It's a silver type of handle, and then the bottom of course is clear, so you can see right through to the color. And underneath the bottom they do have the names. This one happens to be Moonlit. You open it up and there's a doe foot applicator. So this is what it kind of looks like, and there's shadow on both sides, so you can use either or to apply the shadow. Let me see what Colourpop's version of this is. So basically Colourpop describes these Supernova shadows as these high-pack ultra glittery shadows have a metallic base, are extremely long wear, and can be used as a base alone or as a topper. So the 3 times that I've used this, I've never used it as a topper. I've only used it alone, and I never used it as a base, so that's pretty interesting. What I will say is the first time that I used this, I think I applied way too much of the topper because it started to like peel off and like chip and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of reviews before I tried this out that said that they peel apart and stuff like that, but I just think people are being overly useful of the product, and once it dries it's too much and then it flakes off. So the times that I use a right amount of color, it hasn't peeled off. Also, when you put it on, it may not seem as shimmery and glittery as first, but once it dries down and like grow onto another part of your makeup, then you can start seeing the full effect of the topper. So I really like that. Also, a little FYI, these are not available in Sephora. I know a lot of Colourpop stuff is starting to come into Sephora, or they have a partnership or something along those lines, but this color, well, not this color, this launch just isn't in the Sephora store or online. So it's a little FYI. We'll start with Dragon because that's the first one on their list. So Dragon is described as this bright copper with pink, teal, silver, and gold glitter, is a breath of straight fire. So this is what Dragon looks like in the packaging. This is what the doe foot applicator looks like, and then this is it swatch on the back of my hand. Ooh, I wore this actually this is the first color I ever wore, and if you cannot tell, it's super metallic. Like, such a beautiful shade. So next is Moonlit. Moonlit is a vibrant purple with pink, turquoise, can't say that, violet glitter. So that is Moonlit right next to Dragon. Dragon, Moonlit. Next I'm going to do Firecracker. Firecracker is a cool tone burgundy with gold duochrome and silver, gold, and green glitter. So this is Firecracker in its packaging. This is the same doe foot applicator, and here it is. So this is Firecracker. So definitely a little bit more burgundy. I can see that. I see it definitely has like an orange tint to me on top of it. So I would definitely say I can see the gold I don't really see too much silver, but I do see how they say it's duochrome because it's definitely duochrome. Next is Hard to Impress, which is what I have on my lips today, but I'm still going to swatch it for you. Hard to Impress is described as this warm red with gold duochrome and silver, gold, and copper glitter. Right next to the previous shade. Oh my gosh. Now the last one is definitely going to be Walk of Fame. Let me just say, Walk of Fame is a tad bit different from the rest of them. Walk of Fame I thought was going to be swatch just how easy these do, but it doesn't. And I know that it doesn't because I watched a few reviews and a couple of people also said that the wand for some reason is not saturated. And I definitely think it's a manufacturing error because as you can see, there's like really nothing on there. Like it doesn't come out as why, it just that's it. But it's a beautiful shade. It's like a, well, let me read what Colourpop describes it as. It's a true gold sparkle with silver glitter, and I do believe that because this is Walk of Fame and this is Dragon, and they're both golds, but this has more silver like the description describes it as. So these are, it's a close-up of all the shades. I just want you guys to see the whole thing. But yeah, these are all the colors. I love them so much. I just wish, the only thing that I wish is that Walk of Fame was like more saturated. I feel like that's something on Colourpop's end that they're going to work on because I'm not the first person who said it. There's other people. I've seen reviews. You can watch a bunch of them, and for some reason this shade is just like not as saturated. You have to like scrape the side, and that's what I did the last time I used this shade. So I've already used Walk of Fame, Dragon, and Hard to Impress, and so far so good. Like they last all day. I told you the first time I tried this shade I applied way too much, and that's why it started drying and peeling off. So if that happens to you, just try to use less of the shade. I actually don't even use the doe foot applicator. I take my Morphe 242 brush and kind of blend it on. If I want something with a little bit more coverage or I want it to be more packed on, then I do go in with the doe foot applicator and apply that to my lid directly. But like I said, if you don't want it to peel and stuff like that, don't apply too much. But for the price point, I don't even think I told you how much it is. It's normally $7. Like, you can't beat this. This is definitely a dupe for the Stila Magnificent Metals collection. Like, I have them. Let me see if I can swatch one. So this is the Stila one, and this is in Bronze Bell. These retail for $24. It's like the same thing. But I mean, since it is $24, it is a lot more pigmented and it's a lot more smooth. But like, if you're starting off with makeup, like I'd rather you go for the Colourpop ones versus the Stila just because it does the same thing, honestly. I mean, these are a little bit cheaper. The Stila is a little bit more pigmented. I still feel like it's a dupe. Like that's just like drugstore. Wherever you have high-end foundations, a lot of drugstore, like they're not as high quality as a high-end, but they still work. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I wish I would have known that when I first got into makeup that like drugstores dupe for higher end, because I went straight in for a high end. My first foundation was like a Lancome. I spent like $40 something when I could have got like a Fit Me foundation from Maybelline. So I definitely would say this definitely is a dupe. Like again, this one is a lot more pigmented. It also has a lot more shimmer in it. I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's super shimmery, but I just feel like on the lips it does the same thing, and I kind of prefer that these don't have as much shimmer if you just want a color payoff, if that makes any sense. So I am going to hop off the camera for a little bit so that you guys can see the actual tutorial of me using this on my actual lids. So let's hop into that and then we'll be right back. All right, we're starting off with our eyeshadow already primed and ready to go. I'm taking this shade from the Jaclyn Hill's palette, and I believe it's in the shade Pukey, and I'm putting that all over the transition area. This is going to act as our transition color. I sped up through this part because it's a part that you've always seen me do before, and plus this is not really the start of the show. However, I just wanted to show you the eyeshadow look that I created. That way it wasn't, you know, surprising of what I did, and I just didn't just use the Colourpop Supernova the Colourpop Supernova shadows, guys. I don't know why I'm like want to call it something else. So I'm just blending this pukey shade throughout my crease and just building up the intensity of this color because I wanted it to be a little bit more warmer, but I didn't want it to be like very orange, I would say. And then I'm going to go in with red ochre from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm blending it all throughout my crease. No particular technique really, I'm just building it up in my crease because I really want this color to show more than the pukey shade. The pukey shade is just really to be act as a transition because my eyeshadow base is so white and it just erases any color from my lips, and that's exactly why I use the eyeshadow base because I want the color to show its true pigment. So I'm going in with that red ochre shade and just really blending it in the crease, building up the intensity, making sure to take my time, adding little by little. Um, Again, there's no really technique. It's just I'm using like windshield wiper motions and blending it in. And then when I want to diffuse it into my transition area, I kind of use not windshield wiper motions, circular motions just to blend it out. And then I want to take that big brush that I use Pukey with, no additional product, and just blend out the edges so we don't have any harsh lines. And then I'm going in with that same color. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going in with the red shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette because now my crease to be a lot darker and more red. Not burgundy, but just a deeper color. Um, and you'll see in the next couple of clips, I'm actually going to go in with the brown because the red did not show up as dark and defined as I want it to be. Well, it did show its red color, but I wanted it to be a little bit more smokier. So I took a brown instead of a red, but this is me still packing on the red and just building up that intensity because I really want the red to show through because the shade that I use from the Colourpop Supernova shadows, it has like a red kind of undertone or burgundy, I would say. So that's why I'm going in with these red shades and using them and blending them out. And then in this next clip, that's when I'm adding the brown. I'm keeping the brown really close in the inner part of my crease and in my inner corners because I want it to be very smoky like I mentioned previously. And then I want to go in with that same brush that I used before with the red to make it darker and put brown over top of that so we can keep the warmness. So I'm just really playing around with the shades and making them dark and vampy and just smoking out the red. Now it's time for the starter show. I'm going to take this color from Colourpop and I'm going to apply that directly onto my lids. And I'm going to use my MAC 242 brush. I love this brush. It's so great for packing on shadow and color onto the lid. So that's what I'm doing. And then if I want a little bit more pigment, I'm going to use the doe foot applicator that it comes in. But my preference is to use the 242 brush because I can get very precise, especially when I'm doing something like this, like I'm doing a halo eye. So I need to be very precise on where I'm putting the shadow. So that is what I'm doing here, taking my time carving out the crease in the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Apply the shadow directly in the center, carve out the middle of my crease, and then kind of just bring the shade down. And then wherever I need more pigment, I'm going to use actually the doe foot applicator. And then I'm going to switch back over to the MAC 242 brush to further blend out those edges so it's not a harsh line, I guess I would say. I eventually went in with some shimmery red shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette, but I just didn't show it because I really didn't want the eyeshadow to take up a large portion of the overall video because that's not what we're focusing on. But yep, this is the look that I created with the Colourpop Supernova shadows, and I hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back in the next clip. Alright guys, that completes this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the feedback that I had on these Colourpop Supernova shadows. I love them. I mean, they're worth every penny. And then like I told you, I got them while they were on sale. Colourpop always has sales. Like I feel like anything they're having a sale for. But for these to be $7, you can't beat it. And the packaging is phenomenal. Like this packaging is really nice for $7. Like usually Colourpop is very, you know, well, it's kind of like the same packaging as the lipstick, but they have stars on this and the Colourpop is written so pretty. So I guess that's why I like this packaging a lot more. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye guys.